In 1989, I came back to New Mexico to die. I had been diagnosed with HIV in '86. I have a technical diagnosis of AIDS. Everyone in my world that was a peer had died of AIDS, and I was sure that my time was coming. I left New York. I figured if I have 1, 2, 3 years, let me just be with my family. Let me be where it's meaningful to say goodbye. It was in that period of being on the land and being out painting and eating well and being at a place that was so peaceful and so beautiful, but also a place where there were children in need. And I started to use a calling to go, maybe I should volunteer at a local school. One thing led to another, and so for 12 years, I coordinated and founded an Arts in the Schools program for about 3,000 children in 13 elementary schools. And that led to the foundation of Moving Arts as an after-school program within the Española public schools.
To run this organization, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of stamina, because you're dealing with children. There's always something to do. Administration, the numbers, the reports. Am I gonna make payroll? A year or 2 years after high school, I made the decision to stop dancing. So I could keep peace with my father. And it happened. We got better, and I became a businessman. Years later, I met a wonderful man that brought me back to my roots, to keep dancing and passing it on the children.
I was always that kid I was just a troublemaker and, wanted to be in trouble and stuff, and I didn't know I had my own voice. I didn't know I was so special. What Saul and Roger are doing here, they're putting it into action. It's a sanctuary for everyone who feels like there's not a safe place in Española.
Whenever people hear that I'm from Española, they make all these jokes, and I always kind of just grew up feeling like I was supposed to get pregnant at 16 and not graduate, get hooked on drugs. I was fortunate because I got to go to Moving Arts at the age of 7, so I never really had to worry about that because I knew that I always had a support system. But then I worry about that narration from my brothers.
I would say maybe right here.
When I started at Moving Arts Española, I was 12. I was at the age where I was trying to fit in at school, trying to figure out who I was. And any times that I had problems at school or at home, I knew that I could come here and that I would have somebody to talk to be able to help me, vent a little bit. Because sometimes that's all you need, is just somebody to talk to, somebody to listen.
Coming from a town like Española, growing up, I know me, it was like everyone, when you say you're from Española, it was like heroin capital of the world. Oh my God, oh my God, it's so violent there, it's so crazy. And I mean, there's so much beauty here. Moving Arts is helping kids to tap into their creativity, and that's very important, to learn how to create and to co-create with each other.
Moving Arts is somewhat of a candy store for kids. The gymnastics, the food, the other children themselves, the vibrancy that those kids bring forward when they're in their classes. I just think it's a great sense of community.
I believe that my childhood, I was set up to fail. We were homeless for quite a while, so it was not an easy childhood by any means. My value of self-worth was pretty much non-existent. I got to the point where even from around the age that I was 7 and 8, I was suffering from depression and attempted suicide multiple times. just because I felt like I didn't matter to anybody.
Well, when I was 9 years old, I finally told my parents that I was being raped continuously. And when I was 13 years old, my best friend was shot and killed. And when I was 15, my dad was sent to prison. So my heart's been a little bruised.
When I was younger, it was, oh, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna turn out like your mom and dad, you know. You're gonna be a drug addict. You're worthless.
So many children come broken, they come traumatized, they come in fear, and the arts is an opening to healing through expression.
I saw my dad, he would cook the heroin in the back seat while I was in the car, while we were giving him a ride somewhere, or to go pick up his, stuff. Saw him, wrap the plastic around his arm, put the needle in it, and, I would tell him, come on, have some damn respect, do it somewhere else, come on, I don't want to see that crap. And, oh, shut up, you don't tell me, you don't do nothing. And that just made me even more angry, more furious to not be that way, just be completely and utterly disgusted.
I started using theater as a therapy. If we want a better world in the future, it's gonna start with the youth of today, and the sooner we start teaching them how to heal their own trauma and then heal their community's trauma, that's where it's gonna start. We have to start at the root. We have to start at the younger people, And we have to make sure that they're okay so that they can raise a world that's okay. Moving arts is where I went to make a connection and to feel love.
I lost my older sister. She overdosed. The last thing that she told me was, don't you worry, you're gonna be a tecato. You're gonna be on drugs. Just like me, just like mom, just like dad, don't you worry. That's the last words that were spoken between me and her before the next day she passing.
Our kids, they need their souls fed and they need their souls heard. So many people who have endured so much trauma, sometimes in order to get out of that or to heal from that, it has to be transformed. And so art is a way to transform those traumas, to release anger, to release sadness, to create something good out of something really horrible.
I think that somewhere along the line, there is something that gives them hope. If those people have somebody that encourages them to do better, having one person that says, you're better than this, or good job, you can do it, can change somebody's life completely. Because most people, they don't have that.
Kids did this. Roger didn't come in here and say, oh, look, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna tell the parents, look, the kids did it. No, the kids did this. They did this. They see this. They know they can have their own imagination. They have power. That's what we're teaching here. And that goes a long way, because not only do they have it here, they take it home. They take it to their cousins. They take it to school. And so on. Hopefully it turns into a chain and a link, and it starts connecting, and from there things start to change.
Our kids, they need to be able to create a different story, create a better story.
Time after time, we've seen that kids have found a pathway to discover one small piece that just is that spark that helps them to build a healthier self-concept, a capacity for an inspired life.
Moving Arts Española needs funding. We have expanded our program throughout the years by necessity. We added more classes because we saw the kids needed more classes, that they were other interests. A few years ago, we started a meal program because we saw the need that the kids needed to eat to nourish themselves. Coming straight from the school, sometimes they don't have a chance to get a meal.
I do see food as building community. We're able to connect with the local farmers. We feel that we're connecting with the land a little bit here. Española is really proud of this valley and what it produces and the people that come out of here. And I think it all kind of works beautifully together. Here at Moving Arts, we provide a free meal for the children and their families.
The youth leadership aspect of Moving Arts in developing and training and inspiring young people is really one of the most important things we do. Now that we have an 11-year history, we serve approximately 400 children each week through our school day programs, after-school programs, Saturday classes. So I think in terms of developing a young person, again, the arts is one of the best ways, regardless if they become a professional artist of any type. That's really not my goal. I want to nurture and encourage and inspire a human who can contribute, who can think on their feet, can solve problems, can work in team, can find the harmonious balance that's needed to be in a productive and vibrant and creative society. That's the only way that we can really advance humanity, is to remember the arts and that aspect of creative, critical thinking.
I just want to see them grow up and survive. I think it's a really rich community, but I think the struggles are pretty overwhelming here. Poverty plays a big part in that. Drugs play a really big part in that. But here, they're safe.
As the years passed into 5 and 10 and 20 and 30 years, I realized that I wasn't going to die, and that the choice I made to invest in family, community, and creativity was so worth it, because it refueled my life and it gave me a direction. It gave me purpose and urgency and license.
Everybody nowadays like wanting a better planet, a better world, but we have to start in our communities.
Every piece of love that we give them is going to be added together, and it's going to be nurturing them on a pathway forward. And I think that that's the most important piece that keeps all of us going at Moving Arts, is seeing the children and young people thrive and discover identity and purpose.
Any success that I've had in any field that I've gone into, I don't think I would have ever even been in the position to be able to succeed if it wasn't for Sal and Roger. If I had not come to Moving Arts, I wouldn't be here. I don't know what I'd be doing, but I know that it wouldn't be something good.
I really mean it when I say like this is like the hope for Española.
I mean, it's a type of personal love, a type of personal give, you know, what they're doing. They love this valley, they love us, they love these kids, and I think thank you is an understatement of a word to say to these two beautiful gentlemen. So.
I don't know what I would have done. I went to Moving Arts and I was able to heal myself. And I was able to believe that I was strong. That if I I had one message, it would be thank you to Roger and Sal for believing in me until I believed in myself.